And Tadej Pogačar's getting ready. Watch Pogačar on the right-hand side. He's going to use the Aldo Quadramont. The first time we come onto the cobbles, he's gone for it. Wout Van Aert coming after him as well. Tadej Pogačar opens up. Where is Mathieu van der Poel? Vermeersch has gone first. Pogačar's gone after him. Wout Van Aert has gone with him. Where is Mathieu van der Poel? Is that him on the inside down there, Hutch? For Mathieu van der Poel, there he is. Number one on his back is the defending champion. He is ripping his way through this field. I don't know what he was doing. He must have been asleep.
He was just caught out of position. It's so hard to be in position at the bottom of all of these climbs. The roads just get narrower and narrower, and he was just squeezed you clip hard at the back.
Mads Pedersen is not holding the wheel. Mathieu van der Poel rides past Mads Pedersen. I think you're seeing the formation of what could even be the final group right now, despite the fact that there's a breakaway up the road. Tadej Pogačar leads. He's catching Connor Swift. He might have expected to see this as they came past. Look at Wout Van Aert, who we thought might bounce back today. He's got one rider with him. It's Jorgensen, the American. Mathieu Jorgensen sits on the wheel of Wout Van Aert, who's looking good right now. They're on the Aldo Quadramont, and Tadej Pogačar looks back. There's Elmar Reinders about to be reined back in. But watch Mathieu van der Poel, because as it's happening, it doesn't really matter. Van der Poel turning it up, Tadej Pogačar going with him. Are they causing separation? It looks like Jorgensen, and Wout Van Aert is on full pelt right now.
Wout Van Aert having to work very hard to hang on to this. I don't think he's going to go with them.
Looking at this, they're going to really make this first ascent of the Paterberg count. Van der Poel goes over the top. That's the left-hand turn that the second time round will bring them to the road to the finish. It looks like at the moment that is Wout Van Aert just latching onto the back of that group. They were caught at the start of the Paterberg. Here comes Tadej Pogačar, who's lifting up himself. He's coming close to catching the break already. This is doing damage to the group. Nielsen Paulus not enjoying this. Arben Leivens neither. Two favourites at the moment are dropping Mads Pedersen. This is being turned on by Tadej Pogačar. Mathieu van der Poel at the moment is wise to it. He's trying to hug the smoothest bit at the back, but at the moment they've shaken out Mads Pedersen. Tadej Pogačar is going to go again. Here we go. This time it's Wout Van Aert going after him, though. The Wout Van Aert fans are going to be loving this, because he is looking on it today, looking for revenge maybe for what's happened this week and the preceding weeks. And here we go. Tadej Pogačar picking it up. Let's see how much his cobbled riding's been improving. He's been out on the bike this week picking up KOMs whilst wrecking sectors of Paris-Roubaix. How much is his mind, Hutch, on Paris-Roubaix in 1 week's time? Can you be so focused?
Again, we've got that lead trio away. We've got Pogačar, Van der Poel and Mads Pedersen tucked in just behind them. Three current or former world champions off on the front of this climb on the Tour of Flanders. And again, this is the kind of the trio we keep expecting to see. They've been away as a group before and been brought back. They've gone away again. Is this the time it's going to stay?
This is the Tyenberg. Watch the legs, watch the cadence of Tadej Pogačar, watch the gap back to Mads Pedersen, because it's cracking open already, I think. There's a little gap to Pedersen. Watch him, because I think Sturben's also in trouble, and we're going to see it. We're boiling up the two best riders in the race, and Wout Van Aert is seeing them go past him. Tadej Pogačar now turning it on. What has Mathieu van der Poel got left? I think he's in his big gear there. He is really pressing on the pedals to try and stay with Tadej Pogačar. There's a bike lengths gap. Can he take more? What can Mathieu van der Poel do to stay with the world champion? It's cracking open, Hutch.
He's cracking. Pogačar is opening. I didn't think he was going to do so on the Quadramont on the last climb. I just thought it was going to be, too close to the finish for Pogačar to drop.
No, it's done. It is done. You're absolutely right, John. Mathieu van der Poel is turning squares and Tadej Pogačar's turning silky smooth circles. Mathieu van der Poel looks back. Tadej Pogačar's riding clear. Is this it in this year's Tour of Flanders? Tadej Pogačar going for his second win, and Mathieu van der Poel vying today to become the greatest male rider in the history of this, the greatest of all one-day classics. Look at this. Look at the crowd who know it on the Aldo Quadramont. We're not even onto the Paterberg yet. It could yet come together again in the gap in between. How easy does Tadej Pogačar look?
Can see in the grey jersey, it's Mathieu van der Poel. Up there as well, wearing number 17 is Tim Wellens, waiting, ready to go. Trentin is there, and it's Pedersen now who's going to attack. It's the former world champion, Mads Pedersen, being followed by another man who knows all about the rainbow bands. It's Pedersen and Mathieu van der Poel who've managed to distance the rest on the Tyenberg. And now Mathieu van der Poel starts to really press down on the pedals. The former world champion at the front in his grey jersey, representing Alpecin Koenig. The man who won Milan-San Remo for the second time in 3 years at the weekend. He's hoping to double up and retain the title he took 12 months ago here. Off into the gutter he goes. That'll be barriered off in 9 days' time for the Ronde van Vlaanderen. There's a little gap from Mads Pedersen to Filippo Ganna, and for Emergent and Kasper Pedersen, it's hang-on time. It's the former world champions who are pulling away here. Hannah, you called it, you said it. They are those riders who this is much more suited to. It's now over to Pedersen to see if he can hang on.
Now Pedersen on the uneven surface there as it starts to really kick up, struggling to hold on to the wheel of the Dutchman.
And that could be that. That could be that. Mathieu van der Poel going away halfway up the Quadramont into the village and continuing to power on. Mads Pedersen's resistance ceases and Mathieu van der Poel finds himself alone.
Pidcock sensed that Tim Wallens was starting to suffer a little bit, and he's decided to launch and thin this one out. Pogačar's there as well, one side of the road, and the other side it's Pidcock and Pogačar, the winners of the last 3 events between them. And Pidcock is working very, very hard indeed to try and hang on in the wheel. They're hoovering up riders from the early break, and Pogačar's decided to make his move in the same sector that he did 12 months ago. Everybody knows about it. Everybody knows they need to try and hold the wheel, and Pidcock is absolutely frantic at this moment. Can he possibly hang on in this particularly steep sector to try and stay in with the red hot favourite as they arrive up to the other riders from the early break? And here he goes again as Tadej Pogačar stamps on the pedals, and it looks as if Tom Pidcock's going to be the only rider who can possibly stay with him at the moment. Now that he decides to launch, the body language changes. Tom Pidcock knows all about it, straight out of the saddle, and he's launching right from the beginning of this climb. It goes on for a little bit. We've got several hundred meters of this, and it's Tom Pidcock alive to the first salvo being fired. Well, it's probably the second salvo, the first of those coming with about 80k remaining on Santa Maria, and he's fighting to try and stay in here, and it looks as if Tadej Pogačar could be putting a little bit of daylight for the first time between himself and Tom Pidcock, who sits back in the saddle. But has he got enough? He continues to resist, but can he stay in there? Several bike lengths emerge, and the huge crowds are urging on both riders, but Tadej Pogačar is finally detaching himself from Tom Pidcock, and he's not going to look around again before he reaches the top of this climb. Tadej Pogačar going for glory, and Pidcock seemingly can do nothing about it.
Pogačar right in the position he wants to be in. Evenepoel a long way further down, and here we go. It's time for Julien Alaphilippe to go, and Tadej Pogačar wants to go with him. It's Alaphilippe to start the finale, start the party. The fireworks are exploding at the Amstel Gold Race. Alaphilippe looking good, and it's the former world champion with the current man in the rainbow bands who've opened up a gap. 47.5 kilometres to go. They can only try and chase now, Adam. It's Pogačar and Alaphilippe with 47 kilometres to go. There is a gap. It's not the biggest yet. It's 7 seconds. Tadej Pogačar onto the Carlsberg is doing his thing. He's leaving Alaphilippe behind. All the talk of a toe-to-toe battle. It's Pogačar on his own, as he invariably is. And while we might be looking for weaknesses, we might be looking for things that aren't going right, the gap's going the right way for him, Adam. Tadej Pogačar is doing what Tadej Pogačar does.
This is seated as well, Rob. You know, you could see it visible on his face, the way that he was pulling on the handlebars. This was an attack, this was an effort to string that peloton, to get that gap even bigger.
Look at this statement going on at the moment. That's Evenepoel, for goodness sake. He lives locally. He drives on, wants to know who's coming along for the trip, and the answer is very quickly in his mind. And look at this, punch and counter punch. It's like days of old. Over goes Wout Van Aert right now, and Evenepoel tries to stay with him. We look further back down through this group. Turgis also involved. Tom Pidcock doesn't want to get disengaged either. This is fabulous racing here, Brian. 700 metres only, 9.4%. Most difficult part is just after the beginning, as you can see. That's the main body of it. They're on it now. He has they go. Blackmore's struggling to keep on here. Wout Van Aert's equal to him, but there's 2 bike lengths now between Wout Van Aert and Blackmore. He's sticking with it. If he gets to a sprint scenario, Blackmore's going to feel like he's got very much a chance, but he's got to deal with this, and Remco Evenepoel doesn't want to carry him to the line. He's got Wout Van Aert with him. Blackmore's just disengaged now, almost the end of the climb. He should get back on, but that's a first indication, Brian, of the cohesion that's broken down amongst this trio, and the fact that Blackmore may well struggle just a little bit. He's going to get back in here, but what will happen to him on the Moscow?
Here we go, Pidcock attacks, he was waiting, big strikeout, big hit from Pidcock, what a move by him, vicious acceleration on the pedals, Tom Pidcock going clear. It looks like he's got Dunbar going after him as well, and Rainer Keplinger has got a second win too. What can... yeah, it is Eddie Dunbar going after him. Is this the winning move from Tom Pidcock? It looked like he was playing the perfect game of chess there, but an absolute throttle of a pedal strike there, Robbie, from Tom Pidcock.
Pogačar goes early. He has to. Ciccone goes straight with him, and I'm afraid Romero can't follow, but I've got to say, Only can. Where is Bilbao? Not doing it at the moment. If you're hoping to tempo on a day like today, when you're dealing with an explosion that comes from the likes of Tadej Pogačar, and he is going extremely long, and look at the damage. Oh my goodness, there's riders all over this mountain. Only's doing a spectacular job, and Ciccone has gone away for the ride as well.
Yep, 7.5k to
go. And he kicks on again.
Yeah.
He wants to go solo, leave everybody in his wake, and a wake-up call for everybody. This man has come out of the box on stellar form. He did the same thing last year. When he's riding, he's winning in the early part of the season, and quite frankly, can extend throughout the entire year. This is remarkable.